Hello, it's nice to see you in our Python tutorial series video again. I will introduce you another considerably important control flow, which is for statement. As you can see on my slide, for loop is a loop as its name. For loop can iterate over the items of any sequence. In order that they appear in the sequence, for example, we can iterate a list or a string with a for loop. As you can see here on my slide, as long as this conditional code is true, it will go to the next element and iterate it out until the condition is false, and then go to the rest of the code. Now let's go to my notebook and see how it's works. Now let me open my notebook. Here is it. And I'm gonna create another Python file over here. Let's say 7 and for loop. Sorry. Now first let me create a list over here. Let's call pets. Sorry, pets, and it contains several pets. Let's say the first one is dog and pig and a cat. Now we can print the pets list over here. Now the next step, we will iterate this pets list with a for loop. Let's say for and p is the each single element in the pets and pets over here, and let's say common over here, and then let's just print them out. Let's say p over here. By the way, the ident is quite important for Python languages. And for example, here we have this common and have this ident over here, which means this sentence belongs to for loop work area. Now let's run it. Sorry, I missed a keywords over here. See, we can iterate all the elements in the pets. When we got those elements, we can do some manipulating. Here we suppose just concatenate another string. Let's say this is my pet and plus the pet's name, and we can run it again. As you can see, we can do some operate. This is a very simple operate, but in most of cases we can do much more complex operate, and maybe we can change some parts of the element, or we just get the value of the element, etc. Anyway, we use for loop very often. Now, before we jump into the next segment, let me introduce you another quite important function in Python, which is range. Range is quite important. First, it can be a range from one number to another number. For example, we can say for 0 to 5, and we can run it, and it's the range this one. And we can for loop. We can iterate all the numbers out in this range. For example, for I in the range, we can say 5, and we can print out the elements. As you can see, the boundary is equal to the second element minus 1. Actually, in this case, is equivalent to just this 5 over here as parameter. You can see it's just equivalent, or we can confirm in this way. You can see it's that exactly same. Now we can iterate the paths over here just with index, because we have this index over here. Then now let's iterate the paths list in another way. With just say, because here we know just have 3 elements over here, so we can just path 3 over here, and then print paths and the path index over here. See, it's exactly same. Actually, we can do in another way, that is because sometimes we do not know the length of this list, and the list might be another parameter of one function, so we do better in doing this way, paths. Then it will iterate all the elements out. Now let's discuss 2 keywords, break and continue. Break is not quite important, but we use it sometimes. Let me show you how to use it. Break is just we use to jump out the loop before the end, anytime, any condition we want. For example, here in this for loop, and we're gonna add the if control flow over here. Let's say if p is equal to cat. No, let me see, the second element is pig. Then jump out. Then we will break the for loop, so we are not going to continue. And we will print the page in a regular way. Let's see. I have to add break over here. In this case, once we find the pig, then we will break out of this for loop, so we have no cat, because we find the pig and then for loop is end, because we will break it. Let's see how it's work. Sorry, I didn't select this cell. Here is pig. Sorry. Now, as we can see, with first we will print dog over here, not found yet, and then we find the pig, and then we break out this for loop. Continue is not used quite often. For me, I almost never use continue because it's a kind of very dangerous. Continue is that some kind of like, if you match some condition, then you will go to for loop again. Let me show you how it works. Let me just copy this, and let's say continue, right? Continue. Let's see how it's work. You can see it will continue to run the next one. Most of the time we just want to jump one of the element and pass it, and to continue run the for loop until it's finished. So most of case I don't think continue is very useful. Okay, that's enough for loop. Just remember how we can use for loop and break. That's more than enough. And see you next video. Bye bye.